Welcome back to my recovery. This is Chameleon, and today the topic of what I want to bring up is actually two things I'm going to bring up today. The first one, what I want to talk about today is depression. Um, Depression goes hand in hand with addiction. It really goes hand in hand with anything, and a lot of people think that depression is just sadness, really, and it's not. It's different. Um, Depression lasts longer. It usually comes with a whole mess of different physical symptoms as well, loss of appetite, or just no will, helplessness feeling, worrying all the time about death, irregular sleep patterns. I mean, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it comes with all that. Really, the reason why I want to talk about it is because your addiction will ride on the back of depression, and it's really hard to tell the difference between if you're really just withdrawing or if you're just really depressed. And in my case, it got to where I definitely could notice the difference because my depression got so out of control that I would spend at one point in time, I think the longest I've done was like 25 days. Spent 25 days in bed. The only time I get out of bed was to use the restroom, maybe eat a little bit of something here and there, maybe once every few days, and then I would go back to bed, and I would stay in bed for, like I said, I stayed in bed 25 straight days before, and this would have happened to me randomly. It would just come and go. It wouldn't be no major event that happened in my life, like no death, nothing like that. No loss of jobs, nothing. It would just hit me in one day, and then I just couldn't get out of bed. They, I'm gonna quote something from Jim Carrey of all people. It's one of my favorite quotes, and he talks about depression. And what he talks about, he says that we all play a character, right? We all have this character in our head that's us that we play, and just like actors do. And goes on to talk about how he plays the different characters, and every movie he's in, show, whatever he's in, he's playing different characters. And then at home, he's playing, Jim Carrey. He said, but, the difference between sadness and depression is sadness is usually something to do with something going on in your life, and you're sad about it. And depression is literally when your mind tells you that they just don't want to play that character no more. And that really hits with me because I really understand. I get it. I totally understand that saying. It makes a lot of sense to me, and it's just the truth. In depression, what happens is you become narcissistic in a way. I mean, you start, thinking about yourself, but never in a good light. You always think, man, I screwed up. Everyone hates me. I'm no for good. I can't do nothing at all. Everything I do is bad. It's just my life's never going to be the same. It's always me and I, and we, and it's really hard to take I out of the equation. It makes it really hard to take I out of the equation, and that's why it works against you because you start beating yourself down so bad that it starts causing literally physical ailments in your body. It'll cause you to have aches and pains that you don't even have medical conditions for. It can cause you to be sick. It can cause you, like I said, it made me stay in bed. I physically couldn't get out of bed for 25 days. Like, I wanted to. In my mind, I was thinking, like, man, I need to get out of bed. I want to get out of bed. But I couldn't, my body just wouldn't listen to me. Like, my mind just would completely shut down. And that's serious depression. That's very bad depression. Um, if you're ever thinking of anything like, suicide, obviously, call the hotline. I don't know the number to it. No, it ends in talk, but I don't know the number to it. But I know that they do have a hotline for it. Please call. Um, Everybody's life's precious. That's the reason why I made this channel. Is because everybody, we're all unique, and we're definitely all special. So I want to make sure that you definitely save your life first. But anyways, the same steps that you take through addiction is really helpful as well to with depression, and that's what I want to talk to you about. Keeping a journal, to write down your feelings in, which I've mentioned 100 times on this channel before, is definitely something that will help you. Just talking to somebody like your support circle or supporting cast, whatever you want to call them, that'll help you out. If it comes to the point to where none of these things are helping you, obviously you should already been talking to a professional, but they can write you medicine for it, and the medicines work. I mean, people, they work. Depression's been known for a long time. It's been proven for a long time. They have thousands of different medicines out there for it that they can combo together and try to get everybody lined out here, right? And most people just don't want to ask for help because they're ashamed. They feel ashamed, and that's the depression working against you. And your addiction will piggyback off of this, and because it'll make you be depressed. It'll make you to be depressed. I mean, that was my major cause of my depression, was because of my addiction. I mean, I couldn't go get a job because I was always withdrawing, or if I did have a job, I would always quit it because I was withdrawing all the time and sick all the time, or um, when I was there, I was always hateful because I was withdrawing or something, and I would make myself be reclusive from everybody else because I was ashamed of myself. You know what I mean? I was ashamed of being an addict. It wasn't that I was. Um, I just didn't. No one likes to explain themselves, right? No one wants to have to see everybody out there in the world and them look at you. And when you're depressed, you immediately think the worst. I mean, as soon as somebody looks at you, you think, man, this guy doesn't like me. Like, this person doesn't like me. They don't. They know me. They think I'm awful. And it's really hard to take those eyes and me's out of the equation. But you have to learn. You have to learn to. You have to understand that it's okay to mess up. It's okay to it's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry. And these emotions are there to help us. Like I said last time, it's there to help. These emotions are there to guide us and help us. They're not there to hurt us at all. And addiction with depression, as soon as we get sad, the first thing we want to do is go out and use. We think that we'll immediately think that we're withdrawing or something, and then we'll go out and first thing we want to do is buy our favorite drug of choice, and we'll do it, and so that way we'll be fake happy, right? And then that's what we started talking about this when I first started this channel. It's fake happiness. That's all it is. It's all fake. It's you get happy for an hour or two max, and then after that everything starts coming. You start coming down. Then once you're all the way down, then you're back down to that low status where you're starting out depressed again. And so you're not fixing the problem. You're not even attacking the problem. You're not even noticing there is a problem. Not even trying to even notice there's a problem at all. And that's the underlying key of this stuff. You have to realize that it's okay to feel down. It's okay to be anxious. I mean, it's fine. You're fine. You're normal. Everything's normal. And you have to go through these emotions, go through the steps of these emotions, cope with them, right? And learn how to um, identify what the problem is. Like, or, why am I getting so depressed? Why, and like I said, mine was mostly because of my addiction. I know that now, right? I mean, it took me years, and I was depressed in the beginning because of my divorce, and I felt like I was a nothing person. I felt like I wasn't a good dad. I felt like I obviously wasn't a good husband because I was, we was getting divorced. I felt like I just wasn't a good man in general because I wasn't providing for my son the way I should be, and I assumed everybody else thought that to me, and really, it really shouldn't matter if anybody else thought that or not, but it did. And all this compounded and caused my mind to break down to where I didn't want to even talk to anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and even if I did, I couldn't physically do it. I just couldn't do it. Like I'd get really angry with them, and get really mad or snap on them, and over stupid stuff. And it's just I would never, I still have problems leaving the house because of this stuff. And so I just wanted to really talk to you all about this because depression's a major problem. It's very serious. It's and you could. I mean, it's life threatening. You know what I mean? Just like your addiction is. It's life threatening. We don't see it that way. I don't know why we don't see it that way, but it's the truth. It's completely life threatening. Both of these mental illnesses are life threatening, man, and they definitely need to be taken care of. We need to figure out what the problem is and take care of them. And it's different for every single person, but the steps of them are the same. Make sure you get up every morning, have a routine. Exercise. You got to make sure you exercise because that when you do mundane tasks, even doing chores and stuff, it takes your mind off things, right? So you're not thinking constantly the entire time like I suck, I suck, I suck, right? You're thinking just about exercising, and it's a form of like meditation, and it not only is it good for your body, but it's great for your mind as well. And so I just, keeping it, like I said, keeping a journal, talking to somebody, especially, with your professional, with your doctor, with your friends and family. These are all important things, and they're not just important for your addiction, but they're also important for your underlying stuff like anxiety and depression and stuff. That's why I keep, harping, and I keep saying these same things over and over and over again because it needs this. These people, addicts, don't realize that this stuff helps. They don't. They think they're. They think it's beneath them. They think, oh, this is all kiddie stuff, but it does. This stuff helps them. It helps them. I mean, it truly does. And people, it wouldn't be wrote down. People wouldn't be saying it to you constantly if it didn't work. It's just we're ashamed to even admit that we need help that bad. And but there's nothing. I'm just letting you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I've went through terrible depression. I know a lot of people have went through terrible depression. I have awful anxiety, but I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm not ashamed of any of that stuff anymore. I've learned to be okay with myself. So think about that. And the next thing I want to bring up is tomorrow is Mother's Day, I believe. So I want to say a happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there, and especially to my mom, for whom my life would be nothing like it is now if it wasn't for her. I mean, I wouldn't be here, obviously, for sure. I wouldn't be here. My son wouldn't be the great man he is if it wasn't for my mom. My mom is one of the most amazing people that I've ever met in my entire life. She's way stronger than I'll ever be. And she's went through way more stuff than I've ever been through. And she's still always in my corner. And she's never left my corner. So thank you, Mom. And I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day tomorrow. Love you.